There's a woman I know named Carol. She's 61, works in HR at a logistics company, and every Sunday night she gets this low-grade dread. That quiet anxiety that kicks in around 7 p.m. when you realize Monday is coming and there's nothing you can do about it. She calls it the Sunday tax. She's been paying it for 30 years. Here's what Carol doesn't know. She could have stopped paying it 6 years ago. Not because she inherited money, not because she picked the right stocks. She could have retired at 55 because of a number, one specific number nobody ever taught her. And the frustrating part? Her financial advisor knew it. He just never told her. My name is Joe, and I spend way too much time studying why people who do everything right still end up working a decade longer than they have to. If that sounds like you, hit that subscribe button, because by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly what Carol missed. Here's what most people don't realize about retiring at 55. It has almost nothing to do with how much you make. I know people pulling $300,000 a year who will work until 70, and I know people who made $65,000 their whole careers and quietly walked out at 54. The difference isn't income, it's understanding one concept the financial industry has been sitting on for decades. Because if everyone knew it, they'd stop buying expensive managed funds and annuities, and the industry would lose billions in fees. The concept is called the Rule of 25. In 1998, researchers at Trinity University published a study that changed everything. Here's what they found. If you have 25 times your annual expenses invested in a diversified portfolio, you can withdraw 4% per year, adjust for inflation, and there is a 95% historical probability your money lasts 30 years or more. Not 50% chance, not 70%, 95%. That's the number. 25 times what your life actually costs. Spend $50,000 a year, your number is $1.25 million. Spend $60,000, it's $1.5 million. It's not some arbitrary fortune, it's a formula. And when you hit it, you are, by every historical measure, financially free. Now, here's the trap buried inside this, and this is exactly what Carol missed. Most people think about retirement as an income problem. Make more, earn your way out. But the Rule of 25 tells you retirement is equally a spending equation. And here's the part that doesn't land the first time you hear it. Every dollar per year you cut from your expenses reduces your retirement target by $25. Not by $1, by 25. Carol was spending $90,000 a year. Her target was $2.25 million. She had $1.6 million at 55 and thought she wasn't there. But her kids were grown, the house was too big, she had 2 car payments, and a club membership she used 4 times a year. Her real retirement lifestyle was closer to $60,000 a year. Her real number was $1.5 million. She had $1.6 million. Carol was already retired. She just didn't know it. That's not a feel-good story. That's a tragedy repeating itself in millions of households right now. So let me give you the lever that actually moves this number the most, because people always expect some sophisticated investment strategy. It's not. It's housing. Housing is 30 to 40% of most American budgets. When you own your home free and clear, your annual expenses collapse. And when your expenses collapse, your Rule of 25 number collapses with it. A $2,500 monthly mortgage is $30,000 a year. Eliminate it, and your retirement target drops by $750,000. $750,000 gone from your number, simply because you own your home outright. Let me show you what that looks like side by side. 2 colleagues, both 33, both making $95,000. The bank approves both for up to $600,000. Mike buys a $580,000 house. Monthly payment? $3,666. James buys a $320,000 house. Same rate, monthly payment $2,023. He puts the $1,643 difference straight into an S&P 500 index fund every single month. At 7% returns, that $1,643 per month compounds to roughly $1.85 million by the time James is 55. He pays off his mortgage early using bonuses. By 55, he has $1.85 million invested, no mortgage, and annual expenses under $50,000. His Rule of 25 number?
$1.25 million. He blew past it with $600,000 to spare. James retired at 55. Mike is still working at 63, trying to squeeze retirement out by 67. Same income, same starting age, one decision about square footage. Now here's the action steps, because some of you are going to pull up your accounts tonight and I want you to have a framework. Step 1. Calculate your real retirement expenses, not what you spend now. In retirement, the mortgage might be gone, no commuting costs, no work wardrobe. But add private health insurance, roughly $600 to $1,000 a month at 55 until Medicare kicks in at 65. Your retirement number is 25 times your retirement expenses, not your current ones. These are often very different. Step 2. Count only liquid invested assets, 401ks, IRAs, brokerage accounts, not your house unless you're selling it, not your car, only money that generates income. Divide that number by your annual retirement expenses. That ratio tells you exactly where you stand. Step 3. Find your one big lever. For most people, it's housing. For some, it's a car payment that shouldn't exist. The rule of 25 means optimizing your biggest expense creates the biggest impact. Don't spend energy cutting $6 lattes if you're sitting on an $800,000 mortgage in a house with 3 empty bedrooms. One more thing nobody talks about: Social Security. If you retire at 55, you can't collect until 62 at the earliest, and taking it at 62 cuts your benefit by about 30% versus waiting until full retirement age. But here's the flip side. When Social Security does kick in, it reduces how much you need to pull from your portfolio every year. If your portfolio covers $60,000 a year and Social Security covers $24,000 of that, your portfolio only needs to generate $36,000. Your effective withdrawal rate drops from 4% to 2.4%. Your money becomes nearly indestructible. This is why people who retire at 55 with what looks like just enough often end up in better shape at 80 than people who retired at 65 with more. Here's the bigger truth. The entire retirement system, the default 401k contribution rates, the messaging that 65 is just how it goes, none of it is designed for you to leave a decade early. It's designed to keep you contributing, deferring, and accepting the timeline someone else set for you. The rule of 25 is a threat to that system because it gives you a specific, achievable number and a real timeline. It turns early retirement from a fantasy into a math problem, and math problems have solutions. Carol is 61. She's still paying the Sunday tax. She had the money to stop at 55. She just never learned the formula. You just did.
So here's your homework. Tonight, pull up your actual spending from the last 12 months. Multiply your estimated retirement expenses by 25. Then look at what you have invested. That gap between those two numbers is your real retirement timeline, not the one your HR department gave you, the real one. Drop a comment and tell me what's your number and what's the one thing standing between you and it, because I promise it's probably not what you think. Subscribe if this helped, and I'll see you in the next one.